One day, in the kingdom of Boonstrand, there lived a great king named Hoodle. He had a beautiful daughter named Callista. She was his only heir, and she was looking forward to her 16th birthday in 2 days. As she walked along the palace gardens, a shadow jumped across her path. It was Jose, the pirate lord. Arg, he cried. He be my booty now. No, she wailed, trying to resist his gravity hands. I'm only a girl. But the pirate lord, pumped up on testosterone and rum, threw over his shoulder and began to take her away. But they were not alone. In the nearby bushes, creeping, Evan Applewoodchuck, who was deeply in love with Callista, was lurking and watching. He usually followed her on her walks, hoping to gain the courage to speak to her. He hadn't gathered the courage yet, but he kept trying. Though now, Evan saw his chance. I will save her if it's the last thing I do. He followed them as best he could, but the pirate was too swift. On strong, muscular gazelle legs, Jose swooped his captive into his ship and onto his bed and began to mount her. Oh, please, she whimpered, but he didn't listen. Stop your whining, lass. When you go pirate, it's never rape. Then he stopped and stared. He stared very hard at the birthmark on her thigh, his eyes getting bigger and bigger. It was heart-shaped. What's wrong? She asked. Horrified, he could say nothing. He only leapt off her smooth young body, and in his horror peeled off his own skin, killing himself instantly. I'm too sick to live, he cried as he killed himself. Callista could only stare in horror, kind of wanting to vomit a little bit. Just then, Evan busted into the room. He was drawn by the pirate's death cry. What happened? Are you okay? Yes, And then she burst into tears. He held her as she cried, like a small baby. Trying to comfort her, he continued to get closer until they wound up kissing because of their faces. As they made out madly, she thought, this is pretty cool. I feel much better after my attempted rape. But just when it was getting hot and steamy, there was a bang. Kabang! And Evan... She was looking... As she cried, Evan, are you okay? She realized he was dead, because he was shot in the back, and he had a massive wound from the...
I didn't want to eat the permanent marker. I turned it around.
And he was dead. And out of the smoke came a beautiful round orange lady. Who are you? Cried the princess. I am your mother, the sea witch of the Mediterranean. I left you with your adoptive parents, but now that you're almost 16, I shall take you back forever and ever and ever. As she slowly stroked her daughter's face, her daughter was a little confused. But I was raised by the king and queen. Who are you? Your mother. After the second promulgation, she was convinced. What will happen? I'll take you back, and you will be my cow. You see that birthmark? Your father. He recognized it because it's like a brand. You're useless, but you're mine. My precious, precious cow. And as she spoke, her daughter thought it was a pretty good idea. So she said, okay, but one question. What's that, my lovely? Can Evan be my sex slave forever? Because I kind of like him. Okay. So she snapped her fingers, and Evan reappeared, suddenly bound to life, even though he was horribly wounded. And he turned to the two ladies and said, thank you so much for giving me new life and this awesome voice, so I can serve the princess forever and ever. And they all lived together forever and happily to the end. And they made out a lot. The end. Don't worry, it's only a flesh wound.
Okay, for the next person, your challenge is you have to do your entire video in pirate lingo, pirate speak. Bonus points if you manage to find a hat, an eye patch, and a parrot or a cat. Okay, just sit on your shoulder with a parrot or a cat, obviously. Okay, and the next person is from my little fruit box. Money!
やめて。やめるんだ。